Well, Betty, okay, we've got ourselves now with our foot in the door, so to speak. But now we need to talk about how the AFP in Canada got beyond just a really neat idea. I want to know how it became concrete. So I see that personally with your prayer and practice workshop, but I'm also aware that that didn't spring out of nothing. It had to have some support. Can you tell us a little bit about how the early AFP in Canada got its support?
Yes, Tom and I felt that we would much prefer if the Griffiths could do this one more time. So there was a plan to go to Belleville, and the Griffiths came in and we drove them down to Belleville, and they did the workshop together as they had done so often, and Tom and I understudied them. So that was good for us, doing it intentionally like that.
So that's how you were drawn in personally.
Yes,
Okay.
Not everybody was thrilled, you know. There was one man there in Belleville, and he wasn't too happy with me when we were very gently put into groups of two to share something out of your pocket or something. Tried to lead into it nicely. But anyway, at the end, it came to saying a prayer for each other, which again, we helped them by writing it down on paper. And however, he was snitched, and he went home in a huff that after the whole thing was over. But he did tell me years later that he came back. He thought he should learn to pray for his friend.
The problem for him was you'd forced him out of his comfort zone?
I guess so.
Is that it?
I guess so, yes. But he was honest enough to say so later, and that he really wanted to do it, but he was just so nervous about it.
And honest enough to have asked himself why he reacted that way?
Yes.
Okay, well that's fine. So now we have the idea, we have the methodology. The only thing missing is the money.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, something I'm not very good about is finding money. But I asked other people, and they said, did I know about the Anglican Foundation, which I really didn't know. I might have heard of it, but didn't need it, so didn't pay attention. So they said, just make sure you apply for a lot more than you think you're going to need. So what I figured was that we should go into each diocese once if we could get this money, and that would be the way paid in. If they wanted any more than that, the diocese will then fund it. So we applied, and behold, we got $5,000, which was big money in those days.
Okay.
To do flying into all the
I'm going to just interrupt for 1 second and say, would you have gotten that money if the Toronto Diocese had not stood behind you and approved? What do you think?
I guess I never thought about that much.
I mean, it seems kind of weird, but it was important that you gained acceptance in Toronto Diocese. I wonder if that somehow made your application to the Anglican Foundation.
I guess that's probably right, you know, because we did an awful lot of workshops in a lot of parishes in Toronto.
So then you started flying around to all kinds of dioceses. There are a couple of experiences that I know you had that might very well serve to illustrate how things went at the very beginning. There was one thing that you used to do, the Widow of Nain exercise. And the other thing is, I think there's something interesting happened in Moosonee Diocese. But I'll let you talk about that. Okay.
I was several times to his diocese, and in this particular time, I remembered there was a man from much further north there, and he asked in a time of prayer for healing for his knee. Well, the next day he came back and was there again for laying on of hands the next day, and he said, no, I don't need healing. I just want to know about giving money. My knee is healed, and I want to give. And Bishop Lawrence just said to him, see, they were speaking in their own language. I was just told afterwards.
Mhm.
And he said that you don't need to give us money, but you pray about how God would like you to respond to his kindness to you.
Mhm.
And so that's what
My
this
goodness.
man did.
My goodness.
Mhm.
Well,
It's
there
a
we are.
lovely thing to experience.
This is
with
getting
him.
very practical. This is
And the
getting
next
very
day he came
hands-on.
back and did it again.
My word.
Even more so, when he'd been told not to give money, he wanted to know how he could help, what he could
goodness.
do.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you for that.